All right, we are recording. My name is Brian Smith, and with me today are Thomas, John, and Fran. And what we're doing today is an experiment, a demonstration actually, of Thomas' ability. And I'm just here to facilitate, so I will not be taking part in the reading. I'm just going to introduce you guys and let you go. But I do want to certify that I was the one that chose the sitter. The sitter is unknown to Thomas. Thomas has had no contact with the sitter. The sitter did not know who the medium was until just about 5 minutes ago when she signed on to the Zoom call, so there was no possibility of contact between the two of them. Fran is the sitter today. Fran has agreed to be recorded for this and agreed to allow us to use the recording, again, to demonstrate Thomas' ability. So with that, I'm going to step aside. I will not be participating. You guys do your thing, and then afterwards, Fran and I will talk.
Okay, great. All right. Hello, Fran. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. So, have you, yes or no, have you ever had a reading ever before? Have you ever had any sort of reading at all?
Yes, I have.
So I am, as Brian explained, I'm a medium. I am also a psychic, and so I also do pick up things sometimes psychically as well. But I'm really going to try to stay in the zone of mediumship, which will be really connecting with your loved ones and seeing, messages that they have for you and guidance that they have for you. So that's how I'm going to sort of try to do this, but I may sometimes slip into the psychic realm, and if I do, I'll try to, kind of just, you can even kind of alert me about that, and and we'll go. The only thing that I really need from you is just, as I am saying things, if you can just validate them with a yes, a no, I don't know, that will just help me. So just, yes, that makes sense. No, I don't understand that. Or if you're not sure or something, you could always say, I don't know. Like if I say to you, about somebody, I don't know, maybe who passed and maybe you didn't know them, so you can't. I will just tell you, I have, no control over who comes through, in about 80% of my readings, the main person that you want to connect with, that you probably think you're going to connect with, is the person who's going to come through. But there may be other people too, and that's just something we have to know about spirit communication is, they choose how they're going to come through. They choose when they're going to come through. They choose how much they're going to talk, what's going to be brought up. So we'll just do that. I will be writing a little bit over here, just sort of as I'm channeling and stuff. So
Okay.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to kind of take a deep breath and see what comes through first. And I'm just going to tell you what I'm feeling first. So interesting. Okay. So I have to just tell you, as I'm connecting with you, I feel a younger energy that's coming through. So this to me feels like somebody that you would be very close with, because the connection between you and this person feels very strong. So I don't, it feels like, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know, this may be this feels to me like it may be the main person that I'm going to connect with, but I also feel like I do have another energy here that's coming through too, that feels more at the maternal level. So I feel like I'm getting two, there's two energies that are coming through. I want to talk about also, I'm hearing this. So I'm gonna go with the younger person first, because I feel like that's the person that I want to kind of start with. I feel that I want to talk about passing before my time. So that's how I'm knowing that it's a younger person. So when this person's coming through, they're making me feel like they didn't have a full life. So I just want to ask you, just as I'm connecting here, do you have somebody in spirit that they passed, they were very close to you, and they wouldn't have had a full life? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. I also want to talk to you about 2. I'm seeing the number 2, and I feel like when this person's coming through, they're talking about number of children. So is there 2 children, or is this person one of 2? Would that make sense?
Yes, both. Both.
Okay. So so this person that I'm the younger person that I'm connecting with would be one of 2.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. So this person has there's a sibling of theirs that's in the physical world. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting another thing also. I feel just tell me yes or no, because I feel like I'm starting to get a lot from this person. I'm getting a lot of stuff in this area of my body. So I feel like I need to bring up this area of my body. All I need you to say is yes or no. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like there's a big attention to this part of my body. Okay. Now, I just want to tell you too, and I have to tell you just because this person was kind of like woo, 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 right in my energy right away. So I do have to tell you, the younger person that I'm connecting with in spirit feels female. Does that make sense to you? Is it a female that's passed?
Yes.
Okay. I need to talk about also that I would have missed a wedding that's very, very significant. So, and I feel like she's saying she wants you to know she was able to, this would have happened, much after she passed. So it wouldn't have been like the next week or something, but there's somebody really significant. I would want to talk about their wedding, and she's saying it would be her sister. So does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. I also have to tell you too, as I'm connecting, I do hear the name Ralph. So I don't know if there would be a Ralph in spirit too, but I'm hearing the name Ralph, and I'm feeling like I'm going a long time ago. So it's not recent, but there's a Ralph.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that your father?
Yes.
Okay. But I'm going a long time ago. So did he die a long time ago?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I want to tell you also, it's interesting because for some reason they kind of brought him forward. He was coming through, and then they sort of took him away. I don't know why, but it almost felt like maybe, I don't know. It was weird because I was like, oh, all of a sudden Ralph's gone. Like they didn't want him to really be a part of this right now. So I'm not, when I get information, I don't judge it. It's just what I'm seeing. So I just describe my experience to you. So it's almost like your daughter's like, oh my God, we're not talking about Ralph right now. So
Yes.
she kind of brought him away. I do want to just tell you, I feel like I'm getting this just as a message to tell you that I do need to tell you that when people go to the spirit world, there's a learning that happens over there. Okay. And these people that go in the spirit world, when we go to the spirit world, when you go to the spirit world, when I go to the spirit world, there's an accountability that we have. And probably all of us, there's going to be things that we're going to have to say, oh my God, yeah, I did that. And it's part of our life review. And I don't know if you've heard that before. But I do want to just talk about that. With your father, he sees things in a different light than maybe he would have seen things here. And that's just kind of how I just need to bring that up to you. I have to talk about with the girl that's coming through because she's a very strong energy. I'm back with her now, and she's telling me that I want to describe a medical mistake. I want to talk about a medical mistake. She's talking about a medical mistake. Now, when I talk about a medical mistake, I really feel like I'm talking about, I was put in the hands of a doctor. I was, things were supposed to be done correctly. Things were not done correctly. I have to tell you just my intuition on this. I don't know if it was malicious or if it was just a horrible mistake, but I do have to tell you that there's something about And I also have to tell you too that I'm being shown by your daughter that this was not really immediately explained to you. And there was a lot of just, you having to really be in the situation of, no, we want to know what happened, what's going on. And people giving you the runaround, and people saying, oh, well, this happened. And, oh, okay, no, maybe that happened. And you getting like different accounts of things and stuff. But I feel like she's talking about that you, like, I want to say medical mistake. I want to almost say malpractice. And I want to say that there's almost a sense of really like, not only did you lose your child, but it's like you had to be like going through all this drama to figure out really what happened, and it's like nobody was really helping you, I have to tell you. Do you understand this whole thing that this woman is explaining to me? Because I feel like it's like you were I feel you were kind of lied to almost. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like it's like very, very egregious in a way. Like, I feel like it's almost like what the fuck? I mean, not even giving me any answers and hiding things, and you guys having to go through this painful process of like forcing them to really tell you about things and stuff. I want to say, like, I'm almost getting the feeling of like there's like a cover up and things like that. So do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I want to tell you also too, when I'm connecting with this, but I feel like as I'm hearing about things also too, just as I'm connecting here. So there's a woman in spirit coming, and I'm being, I know it doesn't really apply to women so much, but I'm almost getting a feeling of junior, senior. So I don't know. There's a woman coming through, and it's like, is there somebody that you're named after in spirit that would be like, is your mom passed and you have her name, or is that correct? Okay. Because I feel that she's coming through. Now, she's telling me that she knew about this passing. She knew that this person passed. So she must have known. Did she pass after this person passed?
Yes.
Because so she did know, she knew this person died, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to just tell you also, as I'm connecting, it's important for me to tell you that those two people are together. So I just want to tell you, like, when I'm connecting and stuff, they are together. They have a connection together. I feel like I want to just tell you they are together. I'm also feeling like I need to talk about, I want to say also there's something with the autopsy that was weird. It's weird because your daughter keeps going back to this. She keeps going. It's like every time I try to, she brings it back to her. I guess she just feels like, so I want to talk about also, I don't know if you felt that the autopsy was a lie, or you felt like this isn't my daughter's autopsy, or I don't know, but it's like I heard, which is such a weird word because I don't think I've ever had anybody come through and say autopsy, but I almost feel like I want to talk about like the chart and like the thing where you draw the body, and that like going through the records and stuff, and actually that there's like errors in the autopsy, and like, well, this wasn't done, and oh, we're just not going to do that, and things like that. So I don't know if you, like, I know this is kind of hard, but did you ever get to see your daughter's autopsy? Like, did you ever get to read it?
Yes, several months later.
Several months later. Uh-huh. But was it incomplete, or was there lies in it? Or did you later find out that there was like things that were sort of like, it's like they just skipped over things and stuff?
Yes, there were errors and things that we didn't know about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I want to talk about also, I mean, I have to tell you, I don't feel like this is like somebody forgot to, take a sample of blood or something. I mean, I feel like these are pretty elaborate things. Like, I feel there's like a whole part of the body that they didn't even look at, or we're just going to ignore this or something. So I feel like your daughter's like, and your daughter is such a, she's such a strong energy. She's like, it's like she's angry about it, you know, or she's bringing through, not that she's angry now, but I feel like she's identifying with your emotion, you know, because of course in spirit they're at peace and they accept their transition, but it's almost like she's more bringing through this message of just, I feel bad that you had to go through this. I feel bad that you had to, you know, deal with this. I feel bad that you know, that this was sort of something that you had to explore and things like that. And I just feel when I talk to her that now, but she is saying, and she's actually telling me also that there's, you know, there's painful things that you had to do to kind of just preserve the integrity of this and go forward. I do see justice scales, so I feel that you must have at some point, I don't know if you decided to do a lawsuit or you had to sue people or something. She's bringing that up just as a validation that she does. Now, I'm getting a little confused with what's going on. So she's talking about her sister's baby. So did she know her sister's baby? No, she didn't know her sister's baby, right?
She didn't.
But your sister, I'm sorry, no, your daughter has a baby though.
Yes.
Okay, so she knows about it. I just feel like I want to tell you that she does know about she does know that your daughter has a baby. She's aware of that. And is it a girl?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I see pink balloons, so I felt that it was a girl. So that happened after she transitioned. After your daughter passed. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to tell you also, your daughter keeps showing me white. She's bringing up white flowers at her funeral. So I don't know if you guys had a lot of white flowers there or what, but I'm not really good with. They're not roses. They almost look like kind of like lilies or something. They're like, I don't know, kind of like out like that. So I don't know if do you remember that at all? Did you have white flowers or anything? It's okay. I want to just tell you too.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have free reign to say no. So if you feel like you don't understand it, that's totally fine. And I always tell people, even in my private sittings, you know, listen to it again, because there are going to be 10 to 15% of things that you're going to be like, I don't know what he was talking about, and they may make sense later. So just you know, just down the road, you know, you just can listen to that. But I did get this really strong image of white flowers. So that's not something you know about just right now.
Right. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. So we'll just say that's an I don't know. I want to talk to you also, so that's just a separate thing. I want to talk to you also too, because your daughter's bringing this up. And I want to say, because I feel like this is coming through like in a really strong way. So do you have a scholarship in her name? Would that make sense? Or did you? Or did you? Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't have to.
Yes.
What, honey?
We still do, yes.
Oh, okay. So you went and had you did a scholarship in her name just as an honor to her. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, she's bringing this up. It's very significant. I feel like she's just saying, you know, she knows that you did that. How much she appreciates that you did that. That's just something that really is an honor for her. Anytime we do things where, you know, you're honored in the spirit world, or you do something to honor somebody, they do appreciate that. Okay. I need to also talk about this is coming up too. She's going back to this, and she's talking about it like it's resolved. So I guess I want to talk to you about this. So is the drama with the lawsuit and all that, is that more like in the past? Like, did you guys already get through that or something, or is that true?
Still ongoing.
Still ongoing. Okay, interesting. And you didn't have another lawsuit that you did resolve, did you?
Yes, there were several. One was resolved.
Okay. Does your husband play cards?
Sometimes.
Okay. For some reason, she's telling me that she's bringing this up, but she's telling me that she's around your husband sometimes when he plays cards. So I'm not really sure what that means, but she is talking about that.
Okay. Yes.
I want to talk to you also about, she's saying about that. I want to say also too, it's interesting. She is, so sorry, I'm sorry. So the lawsuit thing, that still is, that's an ongoing thing that you aren't 100% finished with that yet.
Not 100%, no.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I have to tell you what I'm getting, what she's giving me is the feeling of like I'm complete, I'm resolved. So maybe she's just telling me that will, it's going to come to completion. It will be okay. Maybe she's just letting me know that it will be taken. I have to tell you, I'm get a little bit in the psychic sense, right? For a second, I did feel that somebody may lose their license or get their license taken away from them. Like not you, but maybe somebody you're going at, maybe somebody that's involved, they may have to lose their license actually. So that's something, but it really doesn't have anything to do necessarily with you. I also want to talk about too, as I'm connecting, who has the J-E double letter name, like Jeff or Jess or Jen, or how does that name connect? Like J-E and then it's two double consonants, like J.
That's my daughter's name,
Yeah.
Jeff.
The
Jeff.
one that's in spirit. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to talk about also, she is saying also she wants you to know that she knows that you were there at the end. So were you guys, was there something where right before she transitioned, were you with her, or were you in the room with her?
No, but we were in a hospital room waiting. She had a procedure.
Okay.
Done. But we were there at the hospital.
Okay, got you. So you were there. You were there in the sort of the space of things, but you weren't actually in the room with her.
Right.
Okay. I want to also ask you too. She's talking about, and I also have to tell you too, I don't feel like this is really a recent thing. Does that make sense to you? Like, I feel like this happened some time ago. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to also talk about also too, there's so this is just coming up. It's not a big thing, but she is bringing this up. But I want to talk to you also about, is there, would there be, this isn't the best, I'm not really great at this, but would there be a dog in spirit that passed? I'm not, sometimes animals are hard for me, but there is a dog here I want to tell you also. And she also says too, something about, I have to tell you, I'm getting something about blue eyes that your daughter is bringing up. And I feel like she's talking about a grandbaby. So I don't know if you do have a grandbaby with really pretty blue eyes. But she was talking about that. And she wants you to know that she's still a part of the family. She said that you guys think of her as, even though she obviously is past, but she said that you actually do think about her as, you include her in things and you think about her and stuff. Is that true? Do you guys try to kind of include her in your thoughts or when you do family things or things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about also too, I'm getting this. Is there a possibility, she's bringing this up, so it's actually coming from her, even though it is a little bit more of a psychic message, but I need to talk about, is somebody around you, like, I'm not talking about like your distant cousin or something like that. I'm talking about somebody really right now that's sort of in your vicinity of things. So is there somebody that would be moving, like is somebody buying a new house? Is that happening at all?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel that she's bringing this up. I don't know if you've had this happen with other mediums, but I feel like your daughter is just like unbelievable. I just feel in terms of like her energy and her intensity, I feel like she's like a very high intensity. Was she like that in life? Like a lot of personality, really, really strong energy? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Because I do want to say when I connect with her, it's like really, 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 really strong energy. I also want to tell you too, this is just being brought up, but I feel like I'm just seeing this. So I'm just going to, if I don't understand it, we can just kind of move on from it. is there a criminal investigation with anything, or is there anything that kind of went more into the criminal realm?
Well, there's several lawsuits and malpractice.
Okay, so it could be something, I don't know, so you're not sure about necessarily. I want to just tell you too, I'm hearing this really, somebody just boom. So I know who's Bill? There's a bill coming through from a long time ago.
Oh,
Connected to your husband's side. Who's
yes,
Bill?
my husband's brother.
Okay. Died a long time ago, is that right?
Yes, yes.
Was he a young man?
Relatively 40s. He was in 40s.
Okay, 40s. So when I'm hearing Bill and Jim, or Jim and Bill, or Bill Jim, or those, how do those?
That's another brother that passed.
Okay. And so those are siblings
Of my husband, yeah.
Okay. It's funny because, yeah, your daughter's funny. She said, I bet you never thought they'd come through.
Sounds like her.
What'd you say, honey?
Sounds like her.
Yeah. I have to tell you that now, as one of your, is there one granddaughter, or, well, I don't know, I'm going to say, I don't know if it's a grandson or granddaughter, but do you have a grandkid that is not at the age where they speak yet?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to tell you, because this is coming up pretty strongly. There's one that I'm feeling may actually talk about I mean, obviously you won't be able to validate this right now because it hasn't happened yet, but I just want to tell you, is there more than one grandkid?
Yes.
No. There's one that I'm feeling is going to have a very strong connection with your daughter. I feel like, and I think it could be the one with the blue eyes because I saw that so strongly, but it's just like your daughter is making me feel like something where, you may have this weird thing happen where she talks about your daughter, or, even though she didn't know her, be like would be her aunt. Yeah. So she may talk about her, she may reference her. So it's just something your daughter is telling me that may happen. It's just something she's bringing up as something that may, it may happen. So it's not a bad thing. It's a positive thing. It just is your daughter's way of sort of, connecting and things like that. I just feel like she is talking about that. I do want to talk about also, just as I'm connecting here and stuff, but I feel, I was seeing this also. Do you, is there an ornament that you put of your daughter's on the tree? Like, do you have an ornament that you put it on the tree and it's of her? You do some sort of ornament on the tree for her. Do you understand?
Yes.
And what is that? What is that? You just do that as kind of a thing to do for her?
Every Christmas we put an ornament on the tree in her memory.
Oh, beautiful. So I feel like she's probably talking about that. I feel like she's bringing that up. And I want to say also too, I'm just going to tell you, because this is coming up, there's a really strong thing with, was there I know, I just want to say, I know that I want to just say, I've never lost a child. I hope I never do. I don't have children, so I don't want to pretend like I'm been in your shoes before, but I work with people that have lost children. I know it's hard to talk about, but just for validation of what your daughter's talking about, because she wants to talk about absolutely everything. Is there something with, I don't know if you were confused about the organ donation, or were you upset that the organs were donated, or did you feel like something wasn't done correctly or something like that? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely.
And so you feel like that was really not dealt with correctly. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. but I'm specifically talking about the organ transplant stuff, right?
Yes.
I want to tell you, and I have no idea if you're, I don't know if your spouse will think you're nuts or whatever, but I just have to tell you, your daughter is telling me that she wants you to know, to tell your husband. For some reason, I don't know, I feel that he takes that very personally. So I don't know if your husband was very involved in that. I don't know if your husband was sort of like, he was told, hey, did he have more of a role in that, or is he the one they talked to about it or something?
Yes, they called and
Yeah.
he answered the phone.
Okay, because
And
I think your daughter is talking about, that he was more involved than you for whatever reason, and
yes,
basically that he was just like, well, he just lost his daughter, so probably really wasn't, he wasn't in a clear state of mind, and that he wanted a little bit more time to make the decision. Maybe he would have still gone with it, but it feels like he was like, oh, I don't know about that right now. And it was just like forced on him a little bit, your daughter feels like.
yes,
So you understand that, right?
yes.
Did you did end up donating the organs though, right?
No,
Oh,
we
you
did
didn't.
not.
Okay. You
No,
didn't.
they took them without permission.
Oh God. So they took them with really not really, they
Not
took them.
waiting.
Okay. That's terrible. I feel bad that you went through that. So I just want to say with your daughter, she wants your spouse to know, I don't blame him for that. I'm not mad at him for that. He was just in a situation where, he didn't really know any better. And I don't know, it just feels like a lot of stuff coming at him and stuff. But, your daughter, she's more focused on, she loves you. She loves her sister. She's talking also about, this is coming up too, but she said that, oh, interesting. Okay. Do you have her piggy bank, or do you know what she's talking about with a piggy bank?
Yes, we
Okay.
have a little bank that had her first paycheck in it, and
Oh
the
God.
money is still sitting in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because she described it like, I didn't know if it was technically of a pig because I just heard it, but she said,
Right.
tell them that. She said, oh my God, I can't believe you have the piggy bank. So I feel like she knows that you have that and stuff. I need to talk about 16. I don't know if I'm talking about 16 years ago, an age. Do you understand that?
Yes, her age.
Hmm. She passed at 16.
Yes.
Okay. She's also telling me too, she may use numbers to communicate with you. So this is just a sign that she's talking about, but she said that she may use numbers to communicate with you. It's just something that she's telling me. So I don't know if maybe the 16 is connected to that, because I kind of felt like it pulled in from there. But she was just telling me 16. She kept talking about that. So she said something about, there may be something with that. I just feel like she's bringing that up. I want to say also to you just what I'm connecting. Do you have, I don't know actually if this is in the living world or in the past world. Is there somebody that would be a Michael at all, but that your daughter would reference? Is there a Michael at all? Michael?
Yes, there are a couple.
Okay. These are just people that she was close to or something?
Family.
Family, okay. Was she close to them at all?
The one she did not know, and the other one was my brother.
Was she close to your brother?
Well, she had been around him during holidays and things.
Okay. I'm not sure because I just keep hearing Michael. He's still in the living world though, right?
The one is and the one is not.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of losing that connection. I'm not sure if that's her talking about somebody she's with. Would she know the Michael that died? No.
Yes, she would.
She would. I feel like it's more that then. I don't know. I have to kind of understand that a little bit more. because I feel like it's more maybe more her bringing up somebody that she's with or something like that. Okay, well, I just think I heard that name so clearly. I'm getting more that it's not about your brother, because I just don't feel like there's so much of a dynamic there. I'm feeling like more the person, like she's letting you know maybe she's with Michael or something. Did he pass young?
My brother just passed recently, within a year.
Oh, so your brother Michael is passed.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you also do a walk in her honor, or have you done that?
We did a walk for several years, yes.
Yeah. I feel like she's talking about that. And also, I want to just tell you, as I connect with her, you know, a big message that I feel like she's bringing up is, you know, she wants you to know that it's okay for you to keep doing your life down here. You know, you have to do what you have to do. And she doesn't feel that, you know, every year you've got to do this or every year you've got to do that. I feel like, she, you know, I just want to tell you, I feel that she wants you to know, you know, you do what feels right and whatever, but she doesn't feel like a compulsion to do that. Another thing I want to tell you about as I'm connecting with her is, did she like candy, by the way? Was she into candy?
Yes.
Okay. Because I want to say, like, I have a sweet tooth, and for some reason she's showing me, did she ever like those big pixie sticks, like the big long ones or pixie sticks? Do you know if she liked those at all? Those things.
I'm sure she did. I don't know if that one was, you know, particular, but.
Okay. I got an image, a really strong image of a trailer. Does anybody live in a trailer?
Yes.
Okay. I did see a trailer. And I wanted to tell you also, too. Okay. Okay. I don't know why. She just said something about, she said, Mom's been helping out all day. So I don't know if you've been, I don't know who you're helping today. Are you helping somebody today or helping out today or something?
Yes, I'm with my other daughter, helping with.
You've been helping her all day. Okay.
I've been helping her.
All day. Okay. Yeah. Because she said something about you've been helping her out all day. Okay. Now, another thing I want to just tell you too, I'm hearing this too. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. Got you. Okay. Did somebody put a note with her when she passed? Did you put a note in her casket or in her burial, or did you put some sort of note?
One of her very good friends put a note in her casket, yes.
Because I feel that I'm getting that she's talking about that. I want to also talk to you too, another thing that's coming through. I want to talk about a big surgery. She's talking about a big surgery. So I don't know if there is something where, was she having a big surgery? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, she was having a procedure done.
Okay. Is that when all this happened, all this negative
Yes.
stuff happened? Okay. So it was in the context of her having a surgery.
Yes.
Hold on. Is somebody named after her? Have you named somebody after her, or does somebody get her name or something?
My granddaughter.
Okay, yeah, because she's saying that her name is passed down, so she does know about that too. She said that she's also, did your daughter in the physical world, did she like children?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because it's interesting. She's with a lot of children in the spirit world. That's one of the things that I feel she does over there. Like, we all have jobs when we go to spirit, you know. We all have jobs, and so I have no idea what the heck that was. That's my phone for some reason. She's just telling me that does she mess with electronics a lot?
Yes, she has.
Okay. Weird, because this phone hasn't rung in 3 years. So I
Oh
don't
my
know why
gosh.
it's ringing, and then the voice recorder just went off. It hasn't worked in 3 years. So I just had it out because I was dusting stuff over there, and I threw this phone here. I was like, it hasn't worked in 3 years. It has a charged battery, but it doesn't ring for some reason. so I
Oh
never
my
use
goodness.
it. Just once, twice. That's weird. Okay, so that's just her being funny. I want to tell you also too, just when I connect with her though, that she, yeah, so that is one of her jobs that she does in the spirit world. She works with children. And like I said, when we go to spirit, we all have, so typically it will map on to something. Obviously she's younger. You told, you know, it already came through with some of the evidence that she was 16, you told me, or whatever. So, you know, obviously, you know, it would be in that context, but I do feel like she is talking about just children and that's part of her job over there. She wants you to know. Just as we're getting to the end here, I wanted to ask you, do you have any questions you want me or anything that you want to wrap up with? Or is there anything that you would like me to ask your daughter? Or is there anything that you would sort of like, you know, is something that you've gone through that you want to ask her thoughts on? Or is there anything you want to, you know, this is a time where you could maybe elaborate a little bit more if you wanted to ask a question, because it won't really get in the way as much. But is there anything you want to ask me or ask her or anything like that?
Yes, I want to know if she's happy where she is and if she was afraid when she passed over.
She told me she wasn't afraid because I honestly tell you, I feel more of a sense of sleep. So I don't know if she wasn't if she was out of it or under it or something like that, but I don't really get a sense of that. And I feel like, so I don't feel that she, you know, I always tell people this in my classes, and this isn't to do it, I'm not being mean to you, but I'm just telling you, you know, happy is sort of an interesting word because that's really a word we use like, you know, we have an ice cream sundae, we're happy. We win the lottery, we're happy. We watch our TV show, we're happy. You know, I would say that there's more of so happy is it's more of an ego-driven word. So I get a tremendous sense of peace around her. I feel like she is in an existence where she's not scared over there. She said that sometimes you worry that like she's alone or she doesn't have people over there, but she's making me feel like has a lot of people around her, a lot of spirit guides, a lot of loved ones. She spends time with your mom. She's laughing. She said even some of the extended family that's a little weird, I see them sometimes too.
That sounds like her.
So I do know that she's with people who love her, and I do know that she feels your love in the physical world for her too. So hopefully that's comforting.
Okay. And she sees everything that's happened, all the drama that's happened since she's passed.
I would say so, yeah, because she went right into all that and stuff, and I feel that she feels bad that you and Dad and your daughter had to, and her daddy had to go through all that. But she also is saying that you really had no choice, and in order to really, preserve your daughter's memory and sort of for the integrity of the experience that you had to do that. You had to, I'm sure nobody wants their daughter to die and then have to file lawsuits, but I do feel like she feels you made the right decision. You had to go forward with these things and she supports you in that decision.
That's great. Yeah, we were worried about that too.
Why? Just because you felt maybe like you wanted to make sure?
We had lots of people that judged us for it, and so, that won't bring her back, but we just we wanted to find out what happened.
Right. Yeah, well, I think that, yeah, well, the great thing about that in a way is also, you get to make your own decisions about that and you get to make your rules about that. And I feel that she supports you, and I'm sure that some of those people that judge you maybe didn't lose their children. So I think that really is your decision to make. And, people in the spirit world, they very rarely come through and say, oh, you better do this, or why didn't, so if you had decided to not do that, I feel like she would have supported that too. But I feel that she's in favor of, you had to do this and that's what you did. So.
Great. Good. I know she probably sees everything we do and is with us because I love the signs that she gives us. She continues.
That's good. Well, yeah, just also I think her bringing up, the kids and the,
Yeah.
kids that she didn't know, that kind of shows you she is a part of that experience and stuff. So.
That's great. Absolutely great.
Well, I'm glad we connected.
Oh, thank you so much. You were just right on.
Where in the world do you live?
Westchester, Ohio.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Where is that near? What major?
It's outside of Cincinnati, Ohio, suburb
okay.
of Cincinnati.
Beautiful. Okay, great. I'm going there in a few months, so I have an event coming up. So maybe I'll invite you or something. I'll send you.
Oh, well, you could always. Do you do group readings?
I do, sweetheart. Yeah, I do groups. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Because I'm a facilitator for a child loss group.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
So,
well, we'll connect somehow through Brian now that we don't have to be behind the black curtains, and we'll
thank you so
know
much.
each other now. So, all right, blessings.
Thank you. You were great. Absolutely great.
Thank you, dear.
Thomas, I want to say thank you very much. That was amazing. Appreciate it. I know that you're extremely busy, so I appreciate you doing that.
You're very welcome.
Fran, if you could hold on for a minute, I'd like to just review with you after Thomas drops off. But Thomas, it's great seeing you, man.
Okay, bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Fran, I was planning on going through and validating the things that he said, but there was so much. I took notes, by the way. I don't think we can go through everything. So could you just give me your impressions?
Oh my God, blown away. He was right on about everything. The only thing I wasn't sure of was about the color of the flowers, and that was nothing. I mean, white flowers. That's the only thing I don't remember, the white flowers at her funeral. But the lawsuit and the organ donation, they took Jessica's eyes before my husband gave the okay.
Hello, I'm so sorry. I actually
Thomas, still on 1 second.
And it wasn't working.
Let's see. Let me remove Thomas from the meeting.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Okay, but she died during or after a medical procedure, and we couldn't get a hold of, they lied to us about certain things, and we couldn't get a hold of the autopsy report for several months. And when we got it, my daughter was 5'3", and they had on the autopsy report that she was a male and 5'10".
Oh, wow.
And that's where we found out that they didn't do an autopsy on her brain, and she died of a brain bleed.
Wow.
And so that was another thing. And at the last minute, we found out the doctor made the nurse change the orders. And also, they called the night that she passed away when we got home from the hospital, and my husband answered the phone. And they asked if they could take her organs, and he said, I need to talk to my wife. This just happened a few hours ago. I can't make that decision on my own.
Yeah.
And before the next morning, they went ahead and did it.
Wow.
And we found that out in the autopsy report too.
Well,
that's how we found out.
One thing I want to say, I didn't know any of this. So I met you, I think, once or twice.
Yeah.
So overall, though, I mean, he got things like your husband's brother's names and other names of family members.
Right. My husband's two brothers passed away. The one passed away several years ago in his 40s, and he said he was relatively young.
Yeah.
The other passed away about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And then the name Ralph, that was my father.
Yeah.
And my mother came through a little bit, and she kind of pushed him out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he was amazing, Brian.
And I got Jess's name, which I thought was good. And
the funny thing is, he said that Jessica said that I was helping my other daughter. Well, I've been with Kristen all day long helping her pick out selections for her new
Right.
house.
Right.
And then he mentioned somebody's building or buying a new house.
Right.
He mentioned
Right.
that. So.
So I hope that I know it was a good experience for you. I'm really glad that we were able to do this. I'm going to have the video if it's available to you, of course. I took notes because I always take notes when I get a reading because there's so much that you might not get, but you can go back and watch the video and take notes from that if you like, or I can copy my notes and send them to you.
My daughter is sitting beside me in the car and she was taking notes also. So.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, Fran, again, I think that I got to tell you, I was a little bit nervous about that. I didn't know how it was going to go, and I thought it was good.
Oh my gosh, I have never been to a person that got everything right on. I mean, every single thing. I mean, there's no way. I don't know. And he even said some of the stuff that came up was his psychic ability, not just his mediumship ability.
Right.
So,
all right. Well, good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I'll get in touch with you through Ty because I don't have your social media information, but I'll get in touch with you and I'll post the video so you can see it.
Okay, great.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Oh, I sure will. Thanks again.
Sure. Bye.
Okay, bye.